Ma'am, I have made you as co-host, ma'am. You can share the screen, ma'am.
What is the number? ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು 2 minutes ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಷ್ಟೇ. ಒಂದು ಇಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು ನಾನು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಇದೆ ಇತ್ತು ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಇದೆ ಇವಾಗ.
Good afternoon, sir. Satri, sir.
Good afternoon. Where are you? I cannot see you.
I am very much here.
No, I could hear that.
I am very much here.
I think I have to do something.
I think the video is not coming.
View standard.
View. And now you are coming.
But I cannot see. You can see me, huh?
Yeah, I am seeing you. PV Sastri.
I don't know where to click. View options 100% I made.
No, standard. See, you go to standard option, sir.
View options.
In the view option, first thing will be standard.
Standard is not a...
So it is not coming there?
No, it is here. Zoom ratio is there. Hide video request.
Sir, you will have to first, go to this,
50%.
50%.
Hmm.
Then
Yeah.
you go to standard.
Standard is not.
First thing will come, sir. View.
Fit to window 50%, 100% optional.
No, sir, I mean, go back.
Go back to leave and come back.
You go to escape.
Escape, okay.
First, you go to escape.
Okay.
Then you will be getting now standard view.
No, I will do exit full screen and come back.
You have to exit full screen.
Yeah.
That is why even by going to this escape, you will be exiting full screen, sir.
Yeah, but there's something not unable to make it. And now I'll come back.
Yeah.
Just that's it.
Ma'am, we'll wait for 5 minutes.
Sure, no problem.
Custom live streaming. No, I did that.
You go to standard, sir. You are now able to get standard.
I have to go to view options, no, first.
For view. First go to view.
Views, then video, request, remote, handout, exit full, side by side.
Exit. So first you exit full.
Exit full screen, okay.
Yeah. Then and again go to view.
View options.
In that,
under that view is there.
yeah, standard.
Standard is there.
Yeah, you just click on standard.
Yes. View options, standard. Standard tick already is there.
Already there. Okay. I'm seeing you, sir.
But I cannot see anybody. Custom live streaming service.
No, but sir, you do one thing more, sir. See, now I'm seeing I have in fact tagged you.
Live on custom live screening.
Side by side gallery you go, sir. Side by side gallery.
Side by side gallery. Okay.
You go there, sir. There you can see.
Yeah, now I can see you.
All the people who are there.
Yeah.
You can see all of them.
Yes. Thank you. So this should be good enough, I think.
Yeah. So that you can see all the people.
Yeah.
All the people who have switched on their videos.
Yeah.
A pleasant good evening to one and all. Welcome to Vayomanasa Sanjeevani Monday webinar series. Today, topic of the day is elder-friendly environment. To talk about this, we have Dr. Ruthshee Suresh. She has completed her MBBS from KMC Mangalore, MD from KMC Manipal. Later, which she worked as consultant psychiatrist in Demscare, SCARF. Currently, she is working as senior resident in Geriatric Psychiatry Unit, Department of Psychiatry in NIMHANS. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you for the introduction. Should I start?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I'll just share my screen. Is everyone able to see it?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. Only thing is, you will have to make it big.
Just a second, I'll do it.
Yeah, just make it,
Enlarge.
no, but
Zoom.
at the bottom, there will be Zoom only. Yeah, it's okay, ma'am. It's fine.
Okay. Screen.
See,
Just a second. I'm just trying to make it bigger.
yeah, got it.
Participants, kindly mute the audio.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, great. Fine. So, very, very good afternoon, or rather, good evening to everyone who is present here. So, today I'll be talking about creating an elder-friendly environment. Again, I haven't included too much of jargon in the slides. The slides are very simple. It'll be better if we all could have like a discussion probably at the end of it. So, So again, why am I talking about this particular topic? Because this is something that I feel very close to. I mean, I find it very, very difficult, especially when I take my grandparents out with me, and each and every difficulty that they face, I sort of, it ends up registering in my head, and I always end up thinking that, something has to be done, and probably this is the best platform to, initiate this conversation. Now, again, an elder friendly environment. Why is it very important? Is in general, an elderly person, the person's health is going to be influenced by, of course, their own individual factors. That is the illnesses that they have, the age related changes that they have. So, those are the things that are anyway will differ from person to person. But when we talk about the environment that they live in, that also becomes really, really important for the elderly to age gracefully, to age in an healthy manner. Now, the whole concept of active aging has sort of become very relevant in today's time, where it's the idea that people should be able to continue to participate in all spheres of their life, even in the old age. And by that, I mean their social life should go unaffected, their cultural life, their spiritual life, their economic life, all these domains of life, they should be able to participate as they were participating even in their younger days, or at least to whatever capacity that they can. So the physical and social environments are again very key factors which make them, or which help them remain healthy, independent, and also autonomous. So this being independent, autonomous becomes again a very important part or important aspect of aging in a healthy way. So in general, the elder friendly environment, it's ideally supposed to empower older people to age in a better physical and mental health. So they're supposed to age in a very graceful manner, both in physical and mental health. And also, this environment is supposed to make sure that they're able to be included in the society, they're able to participate actively in whatever activities that they want to. And also, at the same time, make sure that they're able to maintain their autonomy, their independence, their ability to do things independently. So this will again help in maintain, or in helping them maintain a good quality of life, even in the elderly. So again, when we talk about the environment, there's of course the social environment, and then there is the built environment. So social environment, again, it corresponds to how the society makes them feel included. Now today I'll be talking about the built environment, because that also is probably one of the major barriers in preventing them from participating socially or in active aging. Now, this built environment, again, it can consist of housing, transportation, again, any sort of outdoor space or any outdoor building. So some of the few key important built environment that I thought I should highlight upon, I've included in my presentation, but of course, there are many more aspects to this. So maybe we'll start with housing, which is again the immediate environment that elderly live in. Now we can all reflect about this. We can all take our own house as an example and sort of review if the things in the house, or the infrastructure in the house, is elder friendly. Now, I think nowadays there are a lot of fancy furniture that has come up in the market. So you have ottomans, and you have a lot of divans, you have fancy floor lamps, fancy vases, which are kept on the floor. So again, is that really helping our elderly who's living in the house, is something that we need to review. So again, as we age, we have vision impairments, we have difficulty in maintaining balance, we have difficulty in, walking and sort of understanding the edges and corners, and accordingly maneuver our lefts and our rights. So again, making sure that the environment is not very cluttered, does not have too many furniture, unwanted furniture here and there, again becomes important. Also, while the elderly are walking, especially taking their turns, they end up banging their legs or they end up banging their elbows against, let's say, sharp walls or sharp furniture. So again, and again, they're very prone to falls because of, let's say, problems with their blood pressure, problems with their diabetes, problems with their joints, and in general, their agility and mobility is sort of restricted because of this fear of falls. So let's say they do fall. Any sharp objects that are kept nearby, the sharp edges of walls may end up causing them more injury. So we need to review all these little details in a house and make sure that it's an elder friendly house. So you know how we baby proof apartments these days for children, so we sort of need to look at this whole elder proofing concept, or elder proofing the house. So by that, the first thing to do is, of course, to declutter the environment. Remove this unwanted furniture, which is probably there, these unwanted huge lamps that are kept, or some unnecessary ottomans that are kept just to make the house fancy. So decluttering it and making the environment as simple as possible is probably going to help them. Another thing is, nowadays we have a lot of beds and a lot of furniture which is sort of low seated. So it's supposed to make the house look fancy and probably make it look more spacious. And a lot of us end up buying this sort of furniture just to make our house look fancy. Now, again, this becomes a problem for elderly to sit up, get up because of joint issues. So making sure that the beds have a high level. Okay, they are high-rise beds, so that ideally a good bed should be for an elderly should be one in which they're able to sit on the bed and hang their legs, and the leg is almost touching the feet. Okay, so anything lower than that or anything higher than that would be, of course, difficult. Then, like I spoke about the walls. Sometimes even furniture, so even beds or even any drawer may have some sharp edges. So there are these foams that you get specifically to sort of stick on these edges, so that they are softer. So that when we end up rubbing or banging against the edges, we don't hurt ourselves. So this is again available on Amazon. These are called foam edges for furniture or foam edges for the walls. So they come in these huge strips. You can cut it accordingly and just sort of, it comes with a double tape and you can just sort of paste it. Then, of course, bathroom becomes one of the most dangerous places for elderly to have falls. So again, making sure that you have slip-resistant tiles or slip-resistant flooring. Again, it's very much in the market. So, I mean, especially those who have elderly people in their house, make sure that your flooring is slip-proof. And again, the bathrooms, handrails are very, very important. So by doing this, what you're basically doing is making them also independent. So they don't have to depend on you while going in for a bath. Okay, so this is again one of the pictures that I've put is one of the examples of that, where there is a chair in the bath area for the elderly to sit and sort of take a bath, so that they are independent and they're not scared of falling down. And putting hand railings as much as possible wherever possible. Now again, the stairs that are there in our house. So of course, sometimes we do need stairs, especially to go on to the next floor. But I don't know how many of you have some unwanted stairs in your house. Like for example, in my own house, to go from the living area to the dining area, there is one really unwanted, like 2 steps, which I still don't get it why it is there. But of course, it makes it difficult for my grandmother to sort of, even those 2 stairs, it makes it difficult for her to just climb and go to the kitchen. And I mean, again, when it is unnecessary, it can be removed. But otherwise, where there are stairs, make sure that there are adequate railings on the sides. And also to have landings between staircases is important. So after every 6-7 stairs, having a landing or a seating, so that after climbing 6 stairs, if they are feeling breathless, they can take their breath, sit on the landing, or sit on the bench that is kept on the landing, and then continue climbing the stairs. Again, this is something that can be done. Also, in general, making sure that the houses are well lit. Okay, there are adequate windows everywhere. The light is coming in. Making sure in general there are big clocks. Again, we go for these fancy clocks with no numbers, just these sticks with sort of the dots kept, and they are also very small. So because of vision problems, again, our elderly may not be able to read the time. So making sure even the clock is kept at a prominent place, and making sure that it is big enough for them to read is important. Now, why that becomes important is, again, as we age, there are a lot of conditions where there is confusion. You may have heard about dementia, you may have heard about delirium, where they may lose orientation to the time and place. So making sure that there is a clock visible to them so that they are more oriented to the environment around them becomes important. And in general, having well-lit drawing rooms or well-lit houses also helps in preventing confusion. So when there is light coming in, it's in general healthier for the person. Also, with this whole vitamin D deficiency that is quite rampant in the elderly population, having some sunlight come inside the house during the daytime is very, very important. So this was as far as housing is concerned, just a few recommendations, just a few things that we need to keep in mind. Now, coming to parks and recreation, again, we sort of always badger the elderly, saying you have to be active, you need to go for a walk, you need to exercise. But are we giving them a elder-friendly environment to exercise? So I don't know how many of you have sort of seen the parks with this sort of lens. Like, you may see, I mean, in my own building, the pavements that are there are quite irregular, and a lot of places, even sometimes I find it difficult to walk or go for a run there because of the potholes and because of the uneven ground that is in general present. So again, if I myself find it difficult, I really I empathize with, again, the elderly who have to go for a walk every day over there, who are again at risk of fall. So making sure the parks or the walking area or the jogging track is also as elder friendly as possible. Again, a lot of parks have unnecessary staircase to probably go into the jogging track, to avoid stairs and use ramps as much as possible. Because again, we have some people or some strata of the elderly who are unfortunately restricted to their wheelchairs. So in that case, making it easier for them to sort of take a small outing in the park with the help of their loved one who's probably rolling them on the wheelchair, something again we need to be mindful of. So making sure the park is also wheelchair friendly is something that's important. And yes, we have jogging tracks, we have walking tracks, but are we having enough seatings for the elderly or enough benches for the elderly so to sit and catch their breath, to sort of relax after walking a couple of meters is again something that we need to ensure. And now, again, another problem that very commonly the elderly face, especially elderly men, is the problem of frequent urination. Again, it's related to something called prostrate in their body. So sometimes they need to urinate almost every 20 minutes or every 30 minutes, and they find it difficult to control. So asking an elderly to go out for a walk in the evening hours, and again, many of them may sort of avoid it, people with this particular condition where they need to urinate frequently because of the embarrassment of trying to look for a washroom in the park, or sometimes they have to rush back to their house just to urinate. And sometimes it's also difficult for them to sort of control. They end up becoming incontinent and sort of end up passing urine in their clothes. So making sure that there are also adequate restrooms and toilets in the park so that it's convenient for the elderly who are coming in the evening to probably spend an hour over there with their grandkids or even with their own elderly friends. So this is something that again we need to sort of review and see if the parks or the parks in our own buildings, in our own complexes, or even the common parks that are built for recreational purposes, is it elder friendly? So this is something that we should be reviewing. Then coming to malls, again, malls frequently, it's at least nowadays, it's become a very common place of outing for the entire family. Okay, where you end up seeing entire families going out on Sundays just to roam around in the mall for window shopping, going for movies, etc. So you may have also seen that you'll see a lot of elderly sort of sitting with the bags in some corner or on some benches here and there while their family is going around shopping. So again, we need to sort of review and see are there adequate seatings for the elderly to sort of rest. And I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of malls have this concept where the escalators are on the opposite side, as in if you climb the escalator, go on to the first floor. Now to find the escalator to go to the second floor, you sort of have to take a round of the entire floor, go to the other side, and only then you have an escalator that goes to the second floor. So again, the idea behind this is for increasing the sales in shops so that you end up walking past a lot of shops and the chances of you buying something from there is more. So that is the idea behind it. But then that again becomes very difficult for the elderly who have to walk a lot to sort of find the escalator. In general, escalators themselves are quite unsafe, especially for people who have some slowness in their walking and who have some instability in their walking and balance. And again, if you look at the lifts, there are probably one or two lifts for the entire mall. And even in that, you sort of need to wait for the lifts to go up and then come down. So you end up, sometimes you end up pressurizing the elderly to just sort of take the escalator with you. The escalator, again, making it unsafe for them. To find the escalator is again an issue. So we need to sort of review all these things and make sure that these places are also elder friendly so that they don't shy away from coming with the family to these malls and sort of spend time. And even grocery shops, or rather these shopping centers or these departmental stores that are now in the malls, they have this cart. A lot of times I myself find it difficult to roll the cart and sort of take it everywhere, either because the wheels are not working properly or it's just very heavy. So again, sort of reviewing that and making sure that it's elder friendly is important. Movie theaters. Again, elderly, they love watching movies and they would love to come with the family to the movie theater to watch movies. And again, how many of these movie theaters are elder friendly? There are so many steep stairs. It's quite dark in the movie theater. Even before the movie starts, it's sort of difficult to even maneuver and go up the stairs, even for younger people. So how do we expect elderly to sort of be part of the society when we don't have these basic things which are elder friendly? Now, there is this very interesting mall that is opened up in Tokyo, and it is specifically for the elderly. So they have made sure that they've used slip resistant flooring. They have a lot of walkers and wheelchairs, like many of them in the malls, like almost every 100 meters, they have a station for that. Also, this mall opens up at 7 o'clock in the morning itself, so that the elderly people, they can also come in just for a walk. So they have a ramp for the elderly specifically. And also they have a lot of goodies for the elderly, like, very fancy walking sticks and walkers, fancy wheelchairs. So things that commodities that are needed for the elderly are also sold in these malls. So again, this is probably sort of an example that we can also try and follow in India. Then of course, coming to transport. So ideally, public transport has to cater to a range of population, range of people with different mobility needs. So yes, we have some reservation here and there for the elderly, for the handicapped. We definitely have reservation for women, but probably increasing this for the elderly, making it more elder friendly, like even to get into the metro, a lot of them may have difficulty, especially ones who have walkers. So making sure there are some ramps here and there, or some queues that are specific, some priority queue zones that are specific for the elderly is again something that we probably need to look at. And in general, the signs that are put in many of these public transport or public transport facilities are sometimes not clear, or they have a small font, which again becomes difficult for the elderly to read. because of their vision problem. So making sure these signs are very clear, they have a contrasting background, and they are big in font is again something that we need to be intuitive about and sort of make it friendly for the elderly people to follow. And this is again only so that they can travel independently. They don't feel like they're dependent on other people for their travel. So when they know that, if I want to go out, if I want to visit my sister or my friend who's living on the other part of town, I always have to be accompanied by my son or my daughter. They themselves will shy away from these social interactions because they have to be dependent on someone else. Again, pedestrian crossing. So you need to really walk past the pedestrian crossing as soon as possible before the green light turns red. So again, is that time adequate for an elderly person who's probably walking with a walker or who just has some slowness in his walk? Is again something that we need to review. So this is a picture of some of the buses that are present in Tokyo, where they make sure there is adequate space in the bus for an elderly person to even come in with a wheelchair. So again, when we look at our buses, we do not even have space for two people to stand. So forget about an elderly who probably has to mobilize themselves in a wheelchair. So making sure that some buses are probably elder friendly, which have adequate space or some particular space for a wheelchair to be kept, is again something that we need to review. So the question comes to, are we prepared to age in this environment? Looking at our infrastructure, the current infrastructure in India, is this an elder-friendly environment, or is this an ideal environment where we would like to age? Is again a big question, and we need to review this and try and make our environment as conducive as possible for the elderly. So yes, I will stop sharing. So yes, I would just like to probably have a short discussion on, since we have a couple of elderly in this forum, I would like to probably start a discussion and sort of ask you all if you have noticed some sort of issues in your environment which makes it a little difficult for you. I'm sure you all have, probably in your own houses, in your own parks, or wherever you have gone. So maybe I've missed a lot of points. So you can, sort of contribute to this particular topic.
Good evening, ma'am. This is Jambu.
Good evening, sir.
Your presentation was very nice.
Thank you.
See, nothing to add to it, because this is the real problem. But I tell you, somehow or other, I think you have missed an important place where elders are forced to visit. They have no choice, otherwise.
Hospitals.
Yeah, you have missed that. See, in fact, I tell you, some of the hospitals, of course, some of the corporate hospitals, they seem to say that, yes, I have got a separate counter for this elderly, therefore you can come and register there or something like that. But more often than not, that counter will not be manned by anybody.
True.
Or owned by anybody. There will not be any assistance there. That is number one. Number two is that, the things in a public hospital, in a government hospital, they are far from satisfactory for an elderly man. In fact, why not they think of having a separate queue for elders, even for registration? Even for registration. And why not they prioritize their, if there are 10 people there, once in every 10 people, you allow one elder to visit. Something like that, so that at least make some priority. Because all coming to a hospital or need of some urgent service. That is why they come. But amongst them, these elders, they have got some special needs and special problems as well. Therefore, it is better that they are given some kind of some kind of a facility. I will not say importance. See, normally what happens, ma'am, people think a facility is an importance. No, a facility is not an importance. A facility is a need for that person. That is why it is given. Therefore, it is not out of importance that we are giving. Therefore, I think it is better that these hospitals develop all these things. I tell you, one thing that has been a great improvement in in this elder friendliness for reaching that is most of the government officers. See, now most of the government officers, the entrance to the government office, you will see that along with the steps, there will be a gradient floor. There will be a gradient, floor, which can be, without climbing the stairs, you can reach to a place, reach the office by taking care of the side bars. Most of the offices, in fact, you can even see it in banks. And many of the places, government offices, especially federal government offices, they have implemented this. They don't call it elder friendly. They call it wheelchair friendly. So even people with disabilities or special kind of people can also visit without a difficulty. Therefore, that kind of an environment first needs to be created in many of the government hospitals.
True. I think in our own hospital, I've seen this difficulty where, again, in our OPD, a lot of patients, sometimes they come in the morning, they have to keep waiting there. They don't end up having their lunch. Some of them have diabetes. They end up, they need to take their sugar medications. So they're sitting there starving till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock just to see the doctors. And it's really heartbreaking to see that.
No, but
and again,
the demand is so great and the available supply is so poor. I will not blame the administration or anything for that. But within the available resources, whatever can be done, I think people need to work on that, people need to think on that, and people need to implement that. See, in fact, lots of thinkings are going on in this area. And as you rightly pointed out, in many of the parks, etc., see the facility available, especially this, toilets or the place where a woman can see. We are very great people in one thing, that most of our public places, public toilets cannot be used by many. That is the kind of the situation in which we are maintaining. But there is improvement and there are some good restrooms as well. But not many of them are there. Therefore, these elders, some people I know, they shy away from visiting these parks for walk. Because this, as you rightly pointed out, once in 20-30 minutes, they need to visit the washroom. So they are not able to find a good washroom there. Therefore, see, they start accumulating, and it results in certain other problem for them. So that also, I think, with regard to these public places, I think this needs to be done. And I know with regard to the public transport, ma'am, we are far away. You are now talking of, you are comparing yourself with Japan. Japan is far advanced, and the percentage of the senior population in Japan is far higher compared to any other country, ma'am. Because their average age itself, I'm told, is about 80. 85, 86 for male, and about 90 for female. That's one country where females tend to live more rather than the males. That is one country. Therefore, this is the condition. Therefore, Japan is very advanced in that. At least we need to move towards that. So on that, this is all my humble offerings. That's all. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Shastri, you want to say something? I think you have to unmute yourself. We can't hear you. There'll be a mic button on your screen.
Dr. Suresh, very comprehensive coverage you have given. Particularly coming to the infrastructure, particularly you started with the houses. That is to some extent, if not all, to some extent, certainly the people living can improve whatever is possible within the available facility. And the remaining things, my apprehension is implementation. See what happened now, as my friend Mr. Jambunathan was covering, the improvements are taking place. It's not that but it is nowhere meeting even 5%. And when let us take particularly Bangalore, now we have potholes, now another one has come, sinkholes and all that. We cannot even walk and reach the park.
True.
And another experience I had about 4 or 5 years back, I went to one of the parks. Yes, washroom was there when I went, and finally I came to know there is no water supply. And I asked that person who collects 2 rupees or 1 rupee and all, sir, he told in Kannada that the BBMP has not paid the money to WSSB, they have closed the water supply. This is between two civic agencies. They are sitting in comfortably there, whatever it is, and who are suffering? The user, that is the public. And just let us imagine about a senior citizen. Like this, there are so many examples where I do not hesitate to say there is no commitment from the implementing agencies. That is required. For that, again, you make laws and everything, how it is going to be. And another most dangerous thing is about this using the basements for commercial users like shops and all that. And senior citizens, every time we cannot expect our youngsters to accompany us. And I am 81 now, you see. And of course, managing by God's grace, that's a different thing. So we can't, and going down the stair and then climbing back itself is difficult, and the shop will also be size, like etc. etc. So many are there. This I don't know how to bring it to the not notice, because they are also aware it for the reasons best known to all of us. They can't implement. That's the thing, and probably some sort of implementing measures have to be taken by concerned people, that is concerned authorities. That's what I want to say. Adding to Mr. Jambunathan, as he has also covered exhaustively various issues. Thank you for just sharing this information with us, and also let us start thinking about it, how to go about it.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Mr.
for
Shastri.
Shastri's question, we have some answer. We have
Yes.
been trying through ward committee. There will be members from nearby senior citizen forum or some NGOs firm. Every first Saturday of every month, they get together. That is a mandatory by the BBMP. Sometimes, though mandatory, sometimes may not work. But most of the cases, it is working. In our area, it is working. Wherein representative from senior citizen forum and other NGOs and ladies organization do join in a meeting at the BBMP ward committee meeting. That's called ward committee meeting.
Yes.
Now one more session has come. Now, in addition to ward committee, area committee should be formed in a nearby polling station where voting will be held. So there you can have one area committee meeting. There you discuss some issues. Then take those issues to the ward committee meeting of first Saturday of every month in each ward. In each ward, there will be a meeting by liaising officer will be there. Normally, not less than a assistant engineer cadre in BBMP. He will hold the meeting. He will draw the proceedings. He will call the concern also. Maybe not only the mainly water issues, the garbage issues, street light issues. So all those things are and the BMTC buses playing issues, all are being discussed. But in ward committee, see that somebody ward committee member should reach out these issues. I agree that when there is a problem of water issues, these things 100% because there will be BWSSB representative in the meeting. There will be BBMP man will be there in the meeting. So you can raise that issue. If it is a payment issue, so I think it can be sorted out through departmentally, and this problem can be sorted out. It is possible also. We have been successful in Yelahanka area in most of the issues of this type in nature. So, and secondly, I want one suggestion from any of our members or from you. Is there any staircase lift to be placed inside the staircase? An auto system, so thereby climbing shall not be a hidden issue for elderly people.
Yes,
So
sir, there is.
Yeah.
I have come
Good,
across
Mr. Bajagowda, what you said.
Vayomanasa Sab, see, I just
Yeah. If it is, kindly share the details.
No,
of
in
the
fact, you
contact
kindly
person.
share your number in the chat, sir. I'll
Yeah.
send you. There is a fellow who is doing it from Coimbatore. And
Okay.
it's automated chair lift is available.
Okay.
Up to 2 or 3 floors, one can easily go in that.
Yeah. Good.
So it's available, sir, without any additional great infrastructure or something like that. That chair lifts have come, sir. Yes. It is
Yeah,
available.
please, I just share my this thing. right now through chat box. Kindly share the details to number or even to email also.
Okay, sir. Please. In fact, you have been very regularly attending, sir. But one thing I tell you,
Yeah.
your constituency, you have been able to take care very well. And your MLA,
No, since 6 months I was not in India. So last 6-7 months I could not attend the meetings. As was regularly. Now here henceforth I'll definitely join.
Yeah. In fact, I have been following your area particularly. Yes.
Okay.
Your MLA is very active.
Yeah, 100%, 200%, very, very active. He has provided us an
Lots of
office.
things are happening in your area, sir.
Yeah, he has given an office for senior citizen forum, one meeting hall and 2 offices, one for office, one for library and
Yes.
one for meeting hall. And he has got the plan of forming a trust wherein such organizations are placed with common offices with a meeting hall common. So that is going to form shortly, mostly next term. He is going to form a trust with all infrastructure provided, one for meeting and one for small meeting and for office and nearby library.
Good. Mr. Bachagowda,
So such things he has already promised that. He has already provided, Dr. S.R. Vishwanath sir has already provided. So most of the organization NGOs.
Yeah, that
Tailoring practices for ladies, senior citizen forum and general this thing, and all parks of Yelahanka is #1 in not only in Karnataka, even I can say in India. Latest, anybody can come to Yelahanka and see in the evening the lightings and the way in which they provided path, cycle path, walking path. So it is amazing to see, and you need not go to abroad, you can see in Yelahanka itself.
Yeah, I agree, sir. I agree. And even your lakes are maintained very well.
Yeah, that is #1 activity. #1 activity.
Because I often visit your place, sir.
Oh, nice, sir. Nice, sir. So when you often visit, kindly ensure to meet our office, a senior citizen office near Daba in Mother Dairy Road.
Mother Dairy Road. Yeah.
We normally open between 11:30 to 1:30 or even up to 2 o'clock, and some other time need based in the evening also.
Okay, sir. That's nice. Very nice.
Your good name, sir?
Yeah. Sir?
I have given my name and number
I
and name and email ID. Keep note down and please communicate us when you are coming. We will meet.
Sure, sir.
Your good name, sir?
Jambunathan.
Huh?
Jambunathan.
Jambunathan. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Welcome, sir.
So ultimately, what happens, wherever there are people who are active, certain things do happen. But therefore, we alone need to be active, and over a period of time, we can always hope that things will improve.
Correct.
Also,
Ward meetings of BBMP should be emphasized and see that it is made active. In case if your area, if the ward committee is not sitting properly, you can make it. It is mandatory. Even head office, I have got some persons to whom I can give a reference. In case if any of ward, if it is not conducting, you have every right to ask them.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. I agree.
Just one sentence, Mr. Bachagowda.
Yes, sir.
In fact, regarding Yelahanka, this one I have also heard quite a good. In fact, I should say whether it is CV or SUB or in whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it is compared to many ward committees, there are only a few which are functioning. And I think probably Yelahanka, this one is a role model, I can say. That's what I read from the newspapers. I have not seen anything, but it's what
correct, sir.
Yeah.
Correct, sir.
I appreciate
You can make a one visit on first Saturday BBMP office, Newtown, sir. So I will take you and I can have a look at it.
I have some friends there. I can come there at that time, probably.
Yeah, please be in touch with me, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Participants, if you are having any questions, please do ask.
Yeah, removing unwanted items is really a good issue, and we regularly practice on it. And we are conducting a food safety training where we emphasize all these things. Remove unwanted food materials. Thereby, you can have a free space and a free movement. And also that can be utilized somewhere else for other purpose, or it can be disposed at and can raise realization also. So even such things, yes, our MLA has placed in near BBMP office on counter where they can deposit clothes, shoes, chappals, whatever it is not being used. So those items can be placed there and somebody who needy person can take. So that is also one of the plus point which we can see in Lanka. Hello.
Yes, sir. We can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
So any other issues by other members can be.
Participants, even you can share your views related to age-friendly environment.
Yeah, our senior citizen forum, so, ma'am, we have been asking and getting a medical checkup through our Vani Vishwanath Foundation. They are arranging medical checkups and other things. And we are got some sponsors who have contributed furniture, chairs, and everything to our office. And now BBMP itself has our sanctioned 10 lakhs for updation in our area for our office premises and other issues nearby. Adjacent to our office also. So now its work is in progress. It will be ready in another 10-15 days. It is work in progress. And secondly, medical checkups. And we do conduct some trips and tours where we will take our members to the at reasonably placed prices by train or by bus, etc. Even by flight, we are planning next batches to go and have a visit for senior citizens. Like that, some good activities are being proposed and being already implemented. And now next is the medical checkups through Dr. Agarwal's and Dr. MS Ramaya College of Medical College. And where thereby they take from 9 to 2 o'clock, and they see in case of any requirement of surgery, they will take us to the place. Even surgery of eye and even spectacles, everything they're going to give us free without any charges. In case of any health issues, they will take further treatment to the hospital, or they will refer to the concerned hospital nearby. Such things are being organized. Already it is in practice in Sri Lanka through Vani Foundation. In fact, our MLA Mrs. itself, she is heading the that institute, and they're wonderfully, they are doing very well, and they have been given all facilities which is required by any elders. So
Really good.
That's nice to hear, sir. Thank you,
yeah,
sir, for sharing your views.
yeah. Yeah, and sunlight is important for vitamin D. Walking, keeping minimum 45 minutes walking is good for us. And eating 4 times a day instead of the 3 heavy meals. What is our members also feel comfortable eating 4 times a day and having a 8 to 10 hours sleep. So those things are good, and we are sharing in all our birthday functions and marriage anniversary functions where we discuss some of the issues like this. And the elderly people will share their difficulties also, not only attending all those things. They comfortably they will. Sometimes you may not be knowing. Some fellow told, "I never had a birthday celebration in my life so far." Here we are having that facility. So these are some issues seniors can have at that in during the gathering. I think you could touched upon most of the issues, but like Tokyo, we may not see in India, but it is not impossible also. It is already facilities being created in most of the cases in malls and our parks in Yelahanka area. So even other places also being improved. So like this interventions and your motivation, and even writing all your these issues from you through your this thing to the concerned authorities should here and there should improve from now onwards, if not, if it is not done in elsewhere. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Any others like to share your views? So now we have come to the end of the session. I would like to thank Dr. Ruthshee ma'am for the wonderful and informative session regarding elder-friendly environment.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Ma'am, I would like to thank our YouTube and Zoom participants for joining us for today. I would also like to thank our thanking partners, Government of Karnataka, Indian Psychiatric Society, Karnataka Chapter, Karnataka State Legal Service Authority, Bangalore Apartment Federation, Happy 60 Plus, Samadhana Counseling Center, Icon Life Sciences, REC Foundation, and NSC Foundation. So thank you one and all for joining us for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thanks for organizing this good lecture. Ma. All the best. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good one.